Welcome home. Here is the importance of self-love before you get into a relationship. You know, loving yourself first before you get with anybody else, you have laid the blueprint down of how you want to be loved. You have become your own source of happiness. So if anybody comes and don't add to their happiness, then they gotta go. Nobody else should be your source of happiness, because if it is, then you're gonna chase them for validation, and that's not right. It's not good to get out of a relationship, and once you get out of this relationship, try to get into another relationship real fast without taking the time to get to yourself again, because you're trying to avoid the hurting part. A lot of people think of the word heal and they think of feeling better, but actually healing, the process of healing, is actually painful, because healing is pain leaving the body in the first place. Like I said, when you love yourself, you lay down the blueprint of how you want to be loved. So if anybody else can't match that, then they gotta go. Nobody can be the source of your happiness, so you got to go within for that. Anybody else, they just add to it. When you love yourself, your standards is going to be unbelievably high. It's just certain things that you're not going to put up with as an individual. See, when you don't love yourself, people can treat you any kind of way, and when they're able to treat you any kind of way, and you're at the point that you know that they're being disrespectful to you, then that's no longer their fault. That's all your fault. Because you literally letting them keep the keys to disrespect you in the first place, making them the source of your happiness when you have to be your own source of happiness. If you have to beg somebody to stay in your life, you don't love yourself enough. If you think that I can't live without this individual, you don't love yourself enough. Not loving yourself is like trying to pour out of an empty glass, and you can't afford to do that. A lot of people in this world walking around saying yes to other people but no to themselves. They should reverse it and say yes to themselves, no to other people. Nipsey said it best. He said he would rather be at peace with himself and at war with the world than to be at war with himself but at peace with the world. And a lot of people do that, such as yes men and things like that. You actually have people walking around right now in terrible relationships, but if you go back and dig up the root, they started off not loving themselves, or they did once love themselves, but in order to fall in love with somebody else, that required them to fall out of love with themselves, and they was willing to do that. You can't be willing to do that. You shouldn't fall in love with somebody. You should be in love with somebody, because to fall is a terrible thing in the first place. So if you're going through a breakup, going through a hard time, anything like that, put all that love into yourself. All that pain you're going through, that's just you and your illusion that is tearing before you, that you once thought was real because you was living a lie. But the truth doesn't hurt if you live the truth. The truth only hurts when you live a lie. Continue to embrace greatness and walk in positivity.